From suffering a stroke, whoa man, to getting murdered. Oh wow. These are the 20 craziest moments in bull riding history. At number 20, Venetius Penro Correa had a wild moment with Tyrone after his boot got stuck and wouldn't release. But even more intense is number 19, when Cake Pichet's grip caught on lightning and he got trampled right after. And don't even mention Philippe Ferrand, who was harshly kicked by Fierce's dirt nap at number 18. That blow definitely left damage if you ask me. But for Luciano Gastro at number 17, Ricky Vaughn proved that a hit to the belly can make you bleed inside. Only needs 87.5. And while that was horrible, have you ever watched a bull rider getting crushed midder? Well, that's what happened to Caden Loud when he mounted going solo at number 16. The bulls are surely making life difficult for their riders. Take, for instance, Alismar Jeremias when he got tossed off by Sly at number 15. Anything hurled at you in that situation. And it nearly seems like they're doing it for money. Just watch how Preacher's Kid smashed Paulo Eduardo Rosetton at number 14. Yeah, you're not only riding for yourself here. I mean, you could even hear the massive smack after that fall. Speaking of wrecks, what John Crimer went through on Yahoo at number 13 was an entirely different level of violence. They're gonna clear the ring. Yahoo finally exited the arena. The whole caber collided head first into the bull, only to be crushed seconds later under the full weight of the monster. Because let's be honest, calling them monsters doesn't even capture what these bulls do to riders. Just ask Dustin Martinez after what Mercy did to him at number 12. And if that wasn't wild enough, wait until you witness how Top Dollar completely destroyed Alan Duza at number 11. Got an eye. At number 10, Joel Lucas Compass looked prepared for the battle. Just like any cowboy, he studied the bull and came armed with a plan. But the instant the gate opened, none of that actually mattered, because Scrappy wasn't interested in how much effort was done. It had just one mission, and that was to launch him flying. That was just with a sudden jerk and brutal kick. It threw him off center and into the sky. Scrappy had strength, timing, and a very strong message. Not today. And if we're talking about messages, Verlake at number 9 surely got his from Bad Heart, and it was sent with fury. Right out of the gate, the bull charged out aggressive, shifting hard to one edge, then the other. Luck tried to stay steady, but just as he was adjusting, his helmet smashed into the bull's skull. I know you did. Whoa, man. His grip weakened. His frame lifted off, and in the next instant, he was airborne. He hit the dirt hard, and the angle of impact made it worse. Lonk was on the dirt, motionless, except for the faint twitching of his right fingers. The medics confirmed the worst. He had received a concussion, along with a neck fracture. That fall cost him weeks away from action. I've been on a bunch of bulls. I took more wounds than I did playing other outdoor games for 14 years. It's not a question of if, but when and how severe. It's a savage sport, yet still an absolute. Rush. The wreck was just another entry in a long saga of brutal rides. The ache was real, but so was his determination. But let's face it, with that ride, Mad Heart became truly bad indeed. At number 8, Keshin White looked like he was holding on okay for the first couple jumps. Simon was kicking with force, but White Horse had seen tougher. Or at least he believed he had. It's one of those quick offbeat moves that messes your timing just enough. That's when White Horse lost his footing. He was still hooked, trying to reset instead of just letting himself slide off. The bull hurled him. It was a clean, violent throw, legs straight up, body flipping. White Horse soared and slammed the ground hard. White Horse got up quick. He figured Simon might swing back and go again, but the bull didn't. Simon had already done enough wreckage and seemed to sense it. Later, White Horse spoke up in an interview. Someone will always end up hurt. Major injuries are not that rare. If I may be so honest to say, in bull riding, there's a 100% injury rate. And today, I am that guy who got wrecked. What can we do? It's part of it. And yes, whether we like it or not, a wreck always comes. Clay Gatton's story says it all at number 7. Gatton couldn't finish the distance. Etan's season had been building toward this. He wasn't the flashiest cowboy in the lineup, but he was steady. Quietly, he'd climbed his way to the top, taking rides that others passed and making them matter. When the draw dropped for the weekend, his name lined up next to Gunnel Pounder, a bull with a nasty record and an even rougher bucking style. Gunnel burst out like a hammer, heavy on the front, sharp on the turn, and chaotic on the rebound. Some bulls offer riders a rhythm to follow. Gunnel didn't. If you stayed up more than 4 seconds, it was either fortune or a rare error from the other. Bull. Gunnel shot forward with his trademark fury, gave strong bucks, then jerked wildly. Gatton couldn't finish it. He got caught in the spin and slammed the dirt, badly landing on his side just as the bull circled back. Gunnel smashed his back end down hooves, crashing directly onto Gatton's pelvis. Gunnel Pounder. Gun couldn't finish. Medics later confirmed a broken pelvis and torn tissue across his lower spine. He was sidelined indefinitely. You train for the ride. You analyze the bull. Try to read his rhythm. Time your moves. Squeeze tighter when it's needed. But you never train for the stomp. Nobody rehearses what to do when you're under 1,800 pounds of muscle and fury. You just pray it doesn't target you. At number 6. This cowboy didn't expect that riding Jagger would come with such a steep cost. If there is anyone who is absolutely steady, it would be Aaron Williams. And that steadiness finally earned him a slot at a major event until he pulled Jagger. Jagger was unreliable. Not the largest, but one of the most chaotic bulls on the circuit. His numbers weren't just impressive, they were maddening. No rhythm, no clue. He could launch 5 feet forward, spin out, then switch direction mid-air. When the gate flung open, Jagger blasted out like he had something to settle. The first buck had muscle, the second had tilt. And by the third, Aaron was already losing balance. Twisted mid-air, he came down crouched, one knee grounded, trying to regain control. But Jagger had already pivoted. One quick move, and the bull's rear hoof came smashing down on Aaron's head, just behind the helmet's rim. I thought I was okay when I landed. Aaron said afterward. I was on one knee, just catching my breath. I didn't even notice the bull had turned. Then bang, hoof to the back of the head. For a moment, I didn't know where I was. I couldn't feel my face at all. All I could think about was getting clear before he came back. A bull's hooves are pure danger. And for Sandro Batista at number 5, they were the exact reason he was pushed into an unexpected break. Batista didn't last past 2.53 seconds. It was a quick ride, a far cry from the full 8 he had practiced for. And the one responsible, a deceptively calm-looking bull named Woody. Even before the ride, Batista wasn't feeling 100%. He had been under the weather for several nights leading up to the event, but still chose to compete. By the time the chute opened, Batista's legs didn't have the same drive, and his grip wasn't as locked tight. Woody started with 2 steady bucks, nothing that would normally knock a rider off. But Batista was already slipping from rhythm. By the 3rd buck, Woody gave a sharp, surprise twist, not heavy, but accurate, and that was all it took. Batista's weight shifted forward, his body tilted left, and suddenly the ground was rushing up. He landed face first, ribs twisted awkwardly beneath him. Woody turned back, and before anyone could react, dropped a hard stomp onto Batista's side. X-rays later showed 2 fractured ribs and deep bruises along the pelvis. You know, during that moment, breathing felt like blades. And then that stomp, it was like being hit by a bus. The doctors told me to sit out for a while, and honestly, I think I will. It's probably going to be a long break, and I'm all right with that. Now they say experience is life's best mentor, but what happens when even that fails you? That's exactly what Marco Aguchi discovered at number 4. Oh boy, Aguchi can't run fast enough. Aguchi had been through enough events to know that. No 2 bulls ever buck the same. As a veteran, he understood the gamble, understood that every time he nodded his head, he was stepping into the unknown. But that comfort with chaos didn't make what happened in Baltimore any easier. In round 3 of the 2012 PBR-BFTS Baltimore Invitational, Aguchi faced off against a bull named Black & Decker Orange Crush. It wasn't the most feared bull in the pen, but sometimes the quiet ones cause the most pain. From the moment the gate flew open, the bull charged out strong, throwing 4 quick bucks that didn't give Aguchi a second to adjust. He lost his seat faster than usual and found himself in the dirt in just under 4 seconds. That should have been the end of it. He did what years of training had taught him to do. Get up, move, and let the bullfighters take over. He turned his back and dashed toward the fence, assuming the threat had ended. But it hadn't. Black & Decker Orange Crush wasn't done. As Aguchi ran, the bull spun, spotted him, and made a move with terrifying speed. It charged. Aguchi never saw it coming. Black & Decker Orange Crush. Oh boy, Aguchi can't sprint fast enough. The first moment he realized something was off was when he felt the bull slam into him from behind. The collision launched him forward hard and quick, like the dirt had vanished from under him. You don't expect it after a fall. I thought I was safe. I thought it was finished. But that bull had different plans. I was just doing what we're all trained to do. Get up and get away fast. I didn't even glance back because I figured the bullfighters had him. That's their role, and they're usually right there. But this time it didn't happen. That way. And the pain Tyler Hare got from Revolution didn't fade away either. When we hit number 3, because his ride on the bull collapsed almost as soon as it began. The instant the chute opened, something felt wrong. Hey, his form looked shaky. The timing of his reactions didn't follow the rhythm of the bull, and with every buck, he drifted more out of sync. Whether it was the stress, a mistake in planning, or just that Revolution was more than he could handle, the result was the same. Hare was in trouble. By the time Revolution hit its 6th buck, Hare wasn't in control anymore. He was flailing, holding on more from instinct than skill. Then came the obvious moment. He lost his hold, was thrown into the dirt, and for a brief second, it seemed like he might crawl to safety. But the bull turned, kicked its rear legs, and drove a hoof straight into Hare's midsection. Hey, the impact was harsh. He moved with strain, dragging himself inch by inch toward the chute as if every motion cost him dearly. It was survival through clenched teeth and raw reflex. When he finally reached the fence edge, he collapsed again, this time completely drained. He lay there on his back. Come out with Tyler Horn, absolutely slammed down hard. And that is an insanely powerful few seconds. His chest was rising and falling in short, uneven gasps. And for several long moments, it looked like he couldn't catch his breath. To be honest, I couldn't inhale. Right after the stomp, it felt like something inside me just broke. I was clutching my stomach because I knew that's where it struck. And it wasn't just some bruise. I could feel something was deeply wrong. I was trying to figure out the right position to move. Just anything that would let me shift without making it worse. And of course, I had to get out of there. I didn't want to take another shot. Still, Har was lucky enough to walk away conscious. Number 2, on the other hand, didn't even get that opportunity. Oh no. Tai Pabon entered round 1 of the 2013 PBR-BFTS Bass Pro Shootout in Louisville. Looking sharp and steady, he had the experience, the calm, and the helmet locked on tight. His draw was Carolina kicker. This bull had the ability to end a ride in seconds if misjudged. Patoon knew that, and he didn't take it lightly. But sometimes, it doesn't matter how prepared you are. As the chute opened, Carolina kicker blasted out fast and low. The first buck was solid, but awkward. Patoon was already adjusting. By the second, it was clear the bull wasn't moving in any steady rhythm. He tried to recover, leaning into the motion, but the animal twisted sharply. That shift in momentum was enough to throw Pabon slightly off balance, just enough for his frame to shift to the side. Still holding on, he didn't fall clean. His upper body was exposed over the bull's shoulder when it spun again. This time, the bull's head whipped up right into the side of Pabon's helmet. And then he dropped unconscious. Let's watch. Oh no. After taking the hit, all I could see was black, total darkness. I even thought I was gone. I don't remember falling. I just recall the instant of impact, and then nothing. I got carried off, and when I came to, I got emotional. It's a scary thing when you black out like that and wake up unsure what happened. Despite wearing a helmet, the impact knocked Pabon completely out. He never advanced to round 2. The doctors ruled him out with a confirmed head injury. And while he healed eventually, the memory of that crash and how it went down stayed one of the harsher lessons of how wild bull riding can be. And for our number 1, we have Valdder de Olivea's insane ride on Sickum Sam. Oh my goodness. Valdder de Olivea had earned his reputation on consistency. With over 600 qualified rides to his credit, he was the kind of rider you expected to finish well, if not brilliantly. Fans counted on him to deliver. That's why what happened in Springfield, Missouri during round 1 of the 2013 PBRBF TSPFI Western.com Invitational came as such a surprise. He was paired with Sickum Sam, not the most feared bull on tour, but one with just enough unpredictability to turn things messy. And this one did exactly that. As soon as the chute opened, Sickum Sam launched into a sharp twisting buck. Olivea was immediately off balance. The bull's head jerked back once, then again. Both hits landing directly on Olivea's helmet. The first strike shook him. The second clearly stunned him, but it was the third shot lower and more vicious that sealed it. Sickum Sam lunged forward and caught Olivea in the midsection, folding him awkwardly before he collapsed face first in the dirt, totally unconscious. This bull we've seen before. He really brought battle on the elevator on a mission. Bullfighters jumped in to distract the bull. Medics rushed toward the injured rider, and officials delayed the event for nearly half an hour. The arena stayed tense as emergency staff worked to stabilize him. Later, the medical report confirmed he sustained a concussion. No broken ribs, no spinal trauma, just a serious hit to the skull. Serious enough to step back briefly from the sport, even for someone with Olivea's background. That night proved that even the top, the most experienced riders can still get blindsided. And when a bull decides to take charge, no one's past ride stats will save them. You see, every ride with a bull promises a wild second. Sometimes that second ends in an epic 8-second victory. Other times it ends in mayhem. But if you go by the stats, the odds don't lean in favor of glory. More often than not, that wild second means getting thrown off, slammed down, or stomped. In bull riding, the wrecks far outweigh the wins, and every rider knows it the moment the gate swings. Wide, thanks for watching.